Ferrari has made a bold move just days before their home Grand Prix at Imola. The team has introduced a series of big changes to the SF25 car that they hope will completely change their season. After struggling in the early races of 2025, Ferrari is no longer trying to just keep up with other teams. Now they are taking charge with a major update package that focuses on solving their biggest problems. This upgrade is not just about fixing small things. It's a full aerodynamic and mechanical update that could finally give Lewis Hamilton the kind of car he needs to fight at the front. The most noticeable change is the new side pod design. Ferrari has removed the wide and bulky bodywork they were using before. Instead, they've introduced a tighter and more aggressive side pod design. This new shape is meant to improve how air flows over the car and reduce drag. Ferrari has taken inspiration from McLaren and Red Bull, who have already shown how well this type of design can work. But Ferrari is making sure it fits with their own unique car structure. The goal is to direct the airflow better, make the car faster on the straights, and also improve its stability in corners. This is something that could especially help Lewis Hamilton, who has been struggling with the rear of the car, feeling too loose, especially when braking and turning into corners. The floor of the car is also getting a full overhaul. In modern Formula One, the floor is one of the most important parts of the car. It helps create the ground effect, which pulls the car down onto the track and gives it grip. Ferrari's new floor is designed to give more stable and reliable downforce in all kinds of conditions. One of the biggest issues this year has been how the SF25 behaves in medium and high-speed corners. The car tends to lose grip suddenly, especially when the driver is coming out of the corner. This has cost both drivers a lot of time, especially in qualifying. With the new floor, Ferrari hopes to make the rear of the car more stable, giving the drivers the confidence to push harder without worrying that the car will suddenly snap out of control. Tire management is another big part of this upgrade. So far this season, Ferrari has had trouble getting their tires into the right temperature window. That has hurt their performance, especially in qualifying, where getting the tires just right for one fast lap is critical. The new update package is built to help with this as well. It's not just about making more downforce, but also about managing how that downforce affects the tires. If the new car helps the tires warm up better and stay in the right temperature range, then Ferrari could finally challenge for front row starts. This weekend at Imola, there's another twist. Pirelli is bringing a brand new ultra-soft tire compound, the C6. This tire hasn't been used before in 2025, and it's made for one thing: maximum grip over one fast lap. On a track like Imola, where overtaking is difficult, qualifying is more important than ever. If Ferrari's new updates work well with the C6 tires, it could give Hamilton and Leclerc the chance to qualify right at the front. This would be a huge boost for the team, especially at their home race in Italy. For Lewis Hamilton, this upgrade could not have come at a better time. His start at Ferrari has been very disappointing. He hasn't stood on the podium in any of the Grand Prix races so far. He has often been frustrated with the team's strategy and, more importantly, with how the car behaves. The biggest problem for Hamilton has been that he can't trust the car. Every time he tries to push it to the limit, the car doesn't respond the way he expects. The balance changes from one corner to the next, and that makes it impossible to drive with confidence. For a driver like Hamilton, who relies on feeling connected with the car, this is a serious issue. This new upgrade package is meant to fix that. By making the rear of the car more stable and the overall handling more predictable, Ferrari is trying to give Hamilton the kind of car he can finally push hard. If he feels that the car will stay steady when he brakes and turns, he can drive more naturally, and that could unlock his true pace. These changes are not just technical, they're psychological. They give Hamilton a reason to believe that his time at Ferrari can still be successful. Charles Leclerc will also benefit from the updates. He has been performing better than Hamilton so far this year, mostly because he already knows how Ferrari's cars work and how to set them up. But even Leclerc has not been completely happy. He has said many times that the car behaves well in fast corners, but becomes hard to control in slow corners. This is a big problem at Imola, which has many tight corners and chicanes that require strong braking and quick changes of direction. If Ferrari has fixed the low-speed issues with this new update, both drivers could finally have a car that works across all types of corners. What makes this moment even more interesting is that these upgrades are only the first step. Ferrari is already working on a new rear suspension setup, which could arrive in Canada or Austria. This future update will allow the team to run the rear of the car lower to the ground, which will help create even more downforce. And the best part is that they can do this without changing the gearbox casing, which saves money under the budget cap. These small but smart upgrades show that Ferrari is trying to make the most of what they have and not waste time or resources on complete redesigns. The pressure on Ferrari is huge this weekend. The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix is their home race. The fans, the media, and even the sponsors are all expecting something big. Ferrari skipped any major upgrades for the Miami Grand Prix, just to make sure this Imola package would be ready in time. They're also saving a big front wing change for the race in Spain, so all the focus is now on what happens at Imola. If the car doesn't perform well here, there will be serious consequences. The team has put all their hopes into this weekend, and they can't afford another disappointment. There's also the question of momentum. In Formula One, momentum can be everything. A good result at Imola could lift the whole team's spirits and give them the energy to keep fighting. A bad result, on the other hand, could crush morale and make the rest of the season even harder. That's why this update is more than just a technical change. It's a turning point for Ferrari. It's a chance to change the story of 2025 from one of frustration and failure to one of hope and progress. Looking at the competition, Ferrari knows that McLaren and Mercedes are getting stronger. They've already shown better pace in recent races. Red Bull, while still quick, has not been as dominant as in previous years, which means there's an opportunity for other teams to catch up. But Ferrari has to act now. If they wait too long, the gap will become too big to close. That's why this update had to be bold. Small changes wouldn't be enough. They needed to try something dramatic, and that's exactly what they've done. Hamilton and Leclerc will have to work closely with the engineers this weekend to understand how the car behaves with the new parts. Setup will be critical. The team needs to find the right balance to get the most out of the car in both qualifying and the race. The new tyre compound from Pirelli adds another challenge because no team has used it yet this year. They will only have a short time to figure out how it works and how to use it in qualifying. But if Ferrari gets it right, they could have a big advantage. This is also a chance for Hamilton to remind everyone why he is one of the greatest drivers in the history of Formula One. He hasn't had the results this year, but that doesn't mean he's lost his talent. What he needs is a car that lets him show what he can do. If the SF25 now gives him that chance, there's no doubt he will make the most of it. A strong result at Imola would silence many critics and show that his move to Ferrari was not a mistake. It's important to remember that every part of this update has been carefully planned. From the wind tunnel testing to the final adjustments in the garage, the team has worked hard to make sure everything fits together. The new side pods had to be shaped just right to improve airflow. The floor had to be tested to make sure it gives the right kind of downforce. Even the small details, like how the air flows around the suspension and brakes, had to be considered. All of this had to be done under the budget cap, which makes things even harder. But Ferrari knew that they had no choice. If they wanted to save their season, they had to act fast and take some risks. Now the world is watching. Everyone wants to see if these changes will really work. Will Hamilton finally have a car he can trust? Will Leclerc be able to fight for the win? Will Ferrari finally show that they are still a top team? These are the questions that will be answered at Imola. It's not just about this race. It's about everything that comes next. If the car is fast here, the team can build on it and keep improving. If it's not, they may have to go back to the drawing board once again. No matter